My name's Simon Peter Johnston. I'm with Databricks. I'm currently based in Australia, Sydney, actually relocated to Singapore. I think these events are important. One's the community aspect of sharing of knowledge. There's a lot of people that have their own experiences in their own industries and how they've approached things. So I think having them conversations are ultimately really, really important. So a platform that allows that community effect is number one for me. Secondly, the matchmaking thing, like open innovation, plays a really important part. When you think about a startup, it's like a speedboat. Large organizations may not have the capability to build these speedboats. So then how can open innovation bring a speedboat to a large organization to help them be more innovative, to help them be more competitive, and I suppose, take that analogy, all boats will rise in terms of that approach. So the community, the matchmaking, the interactions, the sharing of knowledge, understanding what resources you can tap into, whether it's the likes of my own organization or other cloud vendors, that can provide resources. The resources can be financial, the resources can be, human expertise or design patterns that can help you accelerate or avoid some of the pitfalls in terms of what you do. So I think the benefit of, of these types of interactions, is that you don't know what you don't know. So once you start getting involved, in these type of communities and events, you will start to, learn a lot more that you didn't have before.
Hi, my name is Alex. I'm the Chief Information Digital Officer from Setia. Today we have actually spoken to a few potential startups that they have amazing AI technologies that can actually help us to jumpstart what we have been doing. So I believe, in the couple of months later on, we should have something more tangible in the form of POC that can use as a business proposal use case, right? For us to actually getting closer on what actually about to build in the next 12 months or 24 months. The startup that I think very much got my attention is the startup who work for the property developer or construction company, because their solution is pretty niche, and we need this kind of niche startup who actually very much focus not just knowing the technology but also knowing what the industry or what the company want. So that part itself is not one. I think there are two companies who actually speak in the language of from the industry.
Hi, I'm Fanny. I lead the VC business development team for Google Cloud. I'm based in Singapore and I'm happy to be here. I think the concept is really interesting. My role specifically is to help the startup in the ecosystem, but I've never done something where we can also support the startup by introducing them directly to the enterprises. So I think this initiative is interesting because not only is just an introduction, it is a very meaningful and curated introduction where you get to know the specific use case of the enterprises and working backwards to match with the right startup solution. I think that is a lot more meaningful than our usual support to our startups. I think first of all, it's interesting to see how the companies and startups are pitching to these enterprises. Very different from how I'm used to in terms of investors pitching, because obviously they don't talk too much about their business model, their competitive landscape, or even what kind of funding they are needing, but rather going pinpoint to the use case of the enterprises and saying how they can help add value to them. I think that is quite refreshing, and I think for the enterprises, they should definitely leverage these opportunities to explore those innovative solutions and understand the pros and cons, how can they implement into the company, because again, it's not just the solution itself. One of the panelists discussed earlier, it's also about the culture, right? Like how can the team in startups really not just have a product fit with the company, but also the people working together with the executor within the enterprises. I think that will have need to have a match as well. There's no need to wait. I'm sure every enterprises, every company for that matter, will have their own pain points. If they can't solve it, they should be looking out for alternatives to solve it right now instead of just waiting and seeing, because the AI game is changing very fast. Every other day there is something new that is happening in the AI world. So if you're waiting, plus knowing that if the internal process is going to take 6-18 months, you're going to be so behind. So why wait?